Hi there, this is my review of Digital Technology in Mathematics Education, Why It Works or Doesn't by Paul Drijvers. This paper looked at 6 different case studies where the author looked at the potential of using technology in mathematics classroom and assessing what factors sort of impact uh, whether they are successful or not in those classrooms. In the first case, it was a bit of an older one, but looks at the idea of looking at concepts visually before looking at the actual calculations, which I thought was really important when especially, are talking about more theoretical things. So the results of that study were that these calculus students um, basically were able to outperform the control group on conceptual tasks and also still getting the calculational stuff, even though they focus less time on it. So just reinforcing that fact that looking at the pictures of the concepts in math is very important, and we can use that using technology in our practice now. Number two sort of builds on that as well. In the stage where we started having graphing calculators and teachers were using those things a lot more to allow their students to sort of visualize and manipulate graphs, especially to give them, again, that conceptual understanding of what they were working on. The important part here for me was not so much the use of the technology, but the importance of the teacher being able to integrate that into their practice and have rich conversations with their students about it, and being able to kind of summarize things for their students in order to make the technology worthwhile using in the classroom. So that's the second one. And then case number four was a bit of a more recent thing where they're looking at applications that are available to us. It's very, very tempting for us to be using apps because all the kids have phones. We've got phones and devices all over the place. And unfortunately, there's nobody really vetting all these things. So it's really important that we're finding stuff that isn't just a replacement for what we would do on paper, more so looking for stuff that is going to enhance the learning opportunities for our students. And that comes with designing lessons and tasks around the technology, and making sure that we know what the technology can do for us. In conclusion, the study sort of came up with these three decisive things for determining success of technology in the classroom, and I really agree with all three of these. The first of which is the design. So this includes the technology, the lessons, and the activities. And thinking back to my practice, some of the technology that I've tried in the past is pretty poorly designed, and I haven't had the time to really get a solid understanding of it before introducing it into my classroom. And I've had issues with those lessons obviously sort of falling flat and the kids not getting much out of it. Um, so I want to make sure that I'm getting stuff and using stuff that is, again, like I said, an enrichment tool as opposed to just a replacement for doing a worksheet type thing. So that's something that I really want to focus on in the future. The role of the teacher, I've always known that this was important, but again, not so much in math, but in sciences when I've used technology, making sure that I can take the students' data and the stuff that they're getting from some of these, like if anybody's ever used PhET simulations, those things are really cool for sciences. But the kids can't just be using them as toys. They have to be able to take that information and integrate it into their learning, and that's sort of our role. So again, in mathematics, I want to make sure that I am understanding the tools, being able to get the kids using them the way that they're supposed to be used, and making sure that they're enriching their learning opportunities as a result. And then the third one is context. I think this is the one where I struggle with the most. I'm not super creative as far as coming up with assignments for technology related things. So And oftentimes I'll spend hours looking at technology and trying to figure out how it works and how I can use it. So I think more pro D for this type of thing is the key to success, and then just making sure that when I am using technology, I do have some sort of assessment tied to it, and I don't have the students just using it as a tool as a toy and saying, go here, go play with this, and hopefully you learn something. So that's my review. Thanks for listening.